It is so annoying when you're doing everything right, you're eating healthy, avoiding junk foods, not drinking, or maybe not drinking as often, getting your workouts in, and yet still every day you're dealing with bloating, inflammation, feeling puffy, and just feeling like every food is triggering you. A lot of you subscribed to me back in the day when I was vegan.
High carb, low fat, or like raw form.
Newsflash, I'm not vegan anymore. I started craving salmon so bad, and a big reason why I stopped doing that is because my health was really starting to be affected. If you look back at those old videos, my face is so puffy. I'm very like skinny fat. My face is very red and inflamed, and you can just tell something's not working. I was dealing with the worst gut health ever. So bloated after everything I would eat. And this lasted for a little bit after reintroducing protein. It seemed like everything would trigger my stomach. Fast forward to now, I'm in the best shape I've ever been. My gut health is on point. I stay snatched all day, and I don't do anything crazy. I'm not here to sell you something. I'm here to genuinely tell you what took me from that to where I am now. So don't forget to subscribe, and let me know if you used to watch me back in the day. First tip is to eat whole foods. A lot of these healthy quote unquote products or vegan products like the soy meats, you know, some of the candies and healthy sodas that have artificial sweeteners, they're fine once in a while, but just because it's lower calorie or lower sugar or doesn't have an animal product in it does not mean it's necessarily healthy for you. I notice even now if I have too much soy, it just doesn't sit the same. Now I eat a lot of whole foods, and by that I mean minimally processed, and this is the bulk of my diet. Like when I go to the grocery store, this is typically what I'm buying, this is what I'm gonna meal prep. I'm really not strict about it for myself because I do still want to enjoy my life. So if I go out to eat with friends, I don't have to freak out, track everything, or make sure everything is unprocessed, organic, or whatever the case may be, because I know that I have a solid foundation of, you know, eating my whole foods and just listening to my body. Whole foods are gonna fill you up a lot more. They're a lot easier for your body to digest. So my second tip is to have variety in your diet. Don't eat the same thing every day. Your body gets nutrients and energy from all different sources, and different things are gonna digest differently and just make your digestion easier. Like you can have too much fiber, you know? So it's important to have a balance. You need healthy fats, fiber, but not too much fiber. And I say that just because I think that's also a huge reason why things were so out of balance for me before, and maybe for you too if you used to do that, TBT. So really switch up what you eat. So number 3, adding on top of that even more, if you're having issues digesting things, I know a lot of people have a lot of issues digesting vegetables, stick to warm or cooked fruits and vegetables over raw. I found at the time steamed kale or sauteed kale, my body seemed to love that. I would digest it so good. So a lot of people will have like a huge salad and think, oh, I'm so healthy, but why am I bloated after? Why does my stomach hurt after? Why am I not having the best digestion after? And that's usually because you're eating a bunch of raw, cold vegetables that are hard for your body to break down. They have a lot of that insoluble fiber, which also brings me to my next point, which is bone broth. Y'all, I wish I knew what a hack bone broth was when I first kind of was transitioning out of being vegan, because this is like the hack. So you know, I don't know if you know, but a lot of people know, and a lot of people swear by a huge bowl of pho as a hangover recipe, and this is literally true. It has so many nutrients and it really repairs your gut. If you have a hangover, the alcohol kind of destroys your gut lining, but the bone broth repairs it. So you can get pho, but you can also make bone broth. You can buy it at the store, but it's typically going to be higher quality and it's a lot less expensive to make it yourself. I actually made a tutorial on my IG, I'll link it below, and especially if you are buying animal products, it's a great way to use all of it. But yeah, I would recommend a cup in the morning. It's magic. So my next tip, kind of based on that, is to drink more tea. I drink at least 2 cups of peppermint tea a day typically. Ginger tea is really good for your digestion. Licorice tea, you can buy specific digestion teas, but some of those are a little like laxative-y, and I'm not using it like that. I think a peppermint is the best. It's also very cooling for the body, so that definitely helps a lot. And I would also say to cut down on caffeine. I don't know if that's something you do, but I know a lot of people, a lot of these girlies out here will have their matcha, which matcha is going to be better than like coffee or, God forbid, an energy drink. But you know, a lot of these girls will get their super sugary coffees with milk, and that's also cold, so it's not good for your digestion. So if you're having gut issues, seriously reconsider your iced beverages. Also, sparkling beverages can be bad for your digestion, but it does really just come down to your individual body. I would recommend just trying things out, you know, go a couple days without the iced beverage, drinking tea instead, you know, even just doing matcha or green tea rather than coffee, and just see what works. But I think especially if you're kind of like, I don't know why my body's doing this, why my digestion is like this, it's important to kind of like try everything. And again, you might think you're being so healthy with your matcha, but again, it's cold, it's sugar, it's either dairy or a processed milk, which I'm not saying either one of those things are bad, but they could be triggering you to have a bad time. And maybe not, you know, like I'm not saying either one is bad, but you just never know until you try. Another thing I don't really do now, unless it's like a night out, is I don't chew gum, and I used to do that a lot. When you're chewing gum, you know, it's typically sugar-free, which you're like, oh my god, skinny, but it's actually, you know, these artificial sweeteners that might make you bloated, and then you're taking in a lot of air, which could also make you bloated. And that's also another tip, is to fully chew your food, like chew longer. Of course, another huge thing is your mental health, and just kind of looking at your life. Where are your stresses? Do you have anything that maybe you're avoiding? Because when you suppress your emotions, when you go through trauma and you don't fully process it, it's still in your body, you know, often come out in ways such as bad digestion, headaches, insomnia, anxiety, depression. The mind-body correlation is so strong. It's actually like direct. It's definitely worth looking into. It's just important to get to a place where you are healthy physically and mentally, and especially when it comes to food. I think that vegan era specifically, if you went through it, you know, I think it kind of made a lot of the girlies very scared of different foods. And although it was really cool to be a part of a community and be able to, you know, share not only the values, but just even like the what I eat in a day tips and tricks with each other, you know, community is everything as humans. That's like, connection is so important to us. But when it starts to kind of be unhealthy and you start being afraid of certain entire food groups, I think something's definitely wrong. Once you can get to a place where you do know your body, you can eat intuitively and you don't have to restrict yourself, and it's not a stress in your life, that is amazing. And I think, you know, it's something we can all achieve, though it may be hard, but it definitely is possible. And you know, health is wealth, y'all, and we want to be our best selves, and we can't do that if we're not feeling our best physically, mentally, emotionally. So it really starts with us and being willing to be curious about what our body is trying to tell us, and getting to that place of balance and harmony within ourselves so that we can enjoy our life and have LOLs and enjoy a night out once in a while, enjoy some processed food, and not have to stress like, oh my god, am I gonna be bloated? Oh my god, is this gonna ruin my diet? So let me know your gut health tips down below. Again, I will link my bone broth recipe if y'all wanna learn. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Let me know if you went through the TBT vegan day, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye everyone.